right, let's do it. Let's go live on the YouTube.
It's live.
We're live on the YouTube. What's
It's
up,
live,
YouTube?
man. Slow.
YouTube. What's up, guys?
What's up, the YouTube? What is up?
The YouTube.
The YouTubers.
The YouTube. Do you think we'll ever get banned on YouTube like we did TikTok? Do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know why? Because it hasn't happened yet.
That's right.
I don't even know what we did to be banned off the TikTok. Maybe it's because maybe it's because we just bashed it a bunch.
We probably bashed it a bunch. And then on top of that, like we made fun of Colin Cowherd a lot, you know?
That's true. That's a good point.
We're also not woke, like on any stretch of the imagination. So
no. And we don't talk about politics or anything.
We don't do it. We don't get into political game.
Why do it? Like,
because you know what, dude?
That's for like sports, offline. Right.
We're a sports podcast. We don't want to be part of your problems. We want to take you away. Take you away from all of this.
I don't want to add to it.
No.
I don't want to put some salt and pepper on there and like spice things up between you and your whoever, your friends or your family members. I want to talk about sports.
Whoa. Living a spicy week. And then the sports guys who are supposed to talk about sports come in. We're talking about politics. What do you care what we think about politics? Come on.
We're just two guys sipping and talking about sports. You don't want to hear our politics.
Keeping it not brevity. Doing everything we can to keep it not brevity.
Boom. The ironic thing.
The ironic. What's up, YouTube? For real though, we love you.
That's what we wanted to do, though, right? At the beginning.
We wanted to keep it brevity.
We wanted to keep it, but it's just not. We just don't.
And then we realized, there's like a bunch of podcasts like that. Like, there's so many sports podcasts that just keep it brevity. Like Sports Center's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Especially like the fantasy football world, like Harris and like the Ballers and JJ Ariza. It's just like everything. So like boom, they just get into it. And we're like, no, we're just gonna talk about it, man. I'm gonna talk about it with my feelings. I'm talking about it with my gut, with my gizzard.
But I think the reason we haven't changed it though is because like it's such a cool name.
It's such a great name. Right, and now it's ironic. It's sort of our thing. It's like an ironic.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say my gut is like, dude, Jason affirmed my gut. This is totally for the YouTube, by the way. This is just the YouTube.
This is just the YouTube.
Jason confirmed the Showman Strowman. It's like, dude, your gut is pretty impressive. Why do you say that? He said, I just listened to a podcast. I picked up Cam Akers. Not that Cam Akers is going to be anything. It's not my point. But I had just picked up Cam Akers, and he's like, why'd you pick up Cam Akers? And I was like, dude, I watched him be good. Like, I don't know what happened between Sean McVay. I don't know if he hit on his wife. I don't know what happened, okay? I'm not in the locker room, okay? But what I know is the dude can play football, and he can be a legitimate running back. And that's what I know. Yeah. And so I picked him up, and then multiple guys who, like, break down, like, really deep stats, like statistical stats. We're talking about he is the most forced missed tackles. Like in all of the preseason, like wide receivers, running backs combined, he has forced the most missed tackles. And I was like, there it is.
I am your genius.
With my gizzard.
That's right, man. Keep trusting it, man. Keep trusting it. Yes. You're so smart.
All right.
That's why I talk to you.
Let's do it.
I just love to be in your present, bro.
That's it, baby. Let's do it. Let's go to the Zoom. Let's go to the podcast.
I am doing it. Here we go.
What is up, everybody? We are back. Another podcast, another episode, another YouTube, another Instagram, whatever you want to call it, wherever you want to watch us. Check us out. Brevity Sports. Of course, I'm joined as always by my boy, Big Z. Say what's up to the people, Big Z.
What's up, people? How you doing this week? It is hot. This is a hot week.
It's caliente.
You know? It really is. I don't have AC in my house, so I'm just like,
what?
No, bro.
Wait. What? Pause. Stop the show.
I don't have AC, bro.
So what do? You just sit in a furnace?
Yeah. Well, okay. So our bedrooms have like the window ones. But like downstairs, I got nothing. So yeah, bro, it's like 85 degrees in the house. Like
window fans, unless I'm mistaken, don't window fans only bring in like the hot air from outside?
Yeah. Well, no, like the window AC, the window AC. So like,
Like a swamp cooler.
no, there's like window ACs, like like the tube. You hook it up with the little slot, and you like you put the tube in, and then it comes out of like the unit. Like that's what we have in the bedrooms. So it
But not
blows out cool
downstairs.
air, and it's sucking out the hot air upstairs. No, but downstairs, bro, it's nothing. So like I got this little Wuzu fan right here behind me. So there's kind of cool air like on my legs. But
Just up here, just furnace.
it's a struggle, man. It truly is. Because like, like it was like 90 today, which isn't terrible.
Well, next
But when
week's gonna
it's
be 100.
but like when it's 85, 87 inside, like that's when it's gross. So it's just one of those, you just the hot week. It's a hot week. So you feel gross.
Ugh.
But it is what it is.
Dude, you know what I found out? You know what I found out? We have a thing that we've never to use in our house. And this was like novelty to us. It's super loud, but it's like smack dab in the loud. It's a ceiling fan.
Okay.
It's like a ceiling. So you turn it on and it sucks all the cool air from outside. It's similar to what you're talking about. You can only use it at night, but when it's cool. But it sucks all the cool air and it sucks out all the hot air. But here's the funny part. This is why I bring it up. Our friend, like who told us about it, is like, oh, you gotta start using it. The only catch is make sure you open up the doors and the windows. Because if you don't open up your stuff, it has to pull air from somewhere. Like it's going to get its air. So it'll pull the air from the chimney and you're going to fill your living room with dust. So like the lady who told us about it gave us like a warning about this. One of our friends, she's like, hey, if you don't do this, like if you do it, don't do it wrong. And so one of our friends did it and they filled their living room with ash. Ash just everywhere. So now it's hot and they have just a chimney ash.
That is a chimney in their living room. The chimney is in their living room.
It's in their living room. You might as well light a fire in there. I mean,
it's terrible, bro. Make it even hotter. Yeah, light a fire.
It's awful.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We have solar, so I'm a big AC guy. Like now that we have solar, I'm like, pump that punk down to like 68. Let's get it going.
See, the HOA here, man, they control the roof. They control the roofs on all our houses. Screw the HOA first off, and secondly, I cannot put solar on because they don't.
You need to revolt. Wait, let me get this right. You can't have AC and you can't have solar.
Well, I could have an AC. I cannot have solar, but I got a quote for like a central AC. It's $30,000, dude. Okay, like I'd rather put that to PK. I don't know, somewhere else. There's other things to put it towards. So
how is that not of the HOA? Like, what's the point of an HOA? The point of the HOA is not to like make.
And you would think if you're
the HOA more hospitable.
If you're a responsible HOA that like loves the environment and wants to have a good reputation, you would think that you would allow the people to put solar on their roofs.
That's it. Big Z for HOA president. You heard it first.
I've thought about it. The elections came up, and I was like, I almost did it because there's so many silly things going on around here. But I was also like, I'm also going to be the one that everyone calls when they have an issue. And it's like, I don't know if I want that added on to everything else. I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, the dog pooped in front of my gate. Like, I don't want that. Like a text at night. No. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna shred this, and then I don't.
The gardeners blow some leaf onto Susan's front yard.
Yes, exactly.
And then Jeremy calls you, just like super pissed off.
Yeah, I don't want that, bro. So you just got to deal with it. You pick your battles, and this is one I'm just like,
Or a Geoff. That's my favorite to make fun of is the Geoffs of the world because I have such a close friend named Geoff.
Geoff, he's in our league, right?
Yeah. Did you see that stand up though? Highly inappropriate. I won't say the whole thing, but basically the end of the joke, the crux of the joke is that when you have kids at the same time, you have to meet a bunch of people you have absolutely nothing in common with. I mean, just nothing in common with. It's literally just based off the sheer fact that you had offspring at around the same time in history. And he's like, I swear, if I have to meet one more Geoff, like that's not even a name. I immediately sent it to Jeff. I was like, Jeff, this is the first of all, this is the correct pronunciation of your name. So,
I mean, you would think so. Geoff.
I mean, come on. Anyway,
seems
let's
like
get into sports. We've done
yeah,
it.
let's get into sports.
Let's get into sports.
Too much about HOAs and but that's what you get with us. So sorry.
We tried to keep brevity for like 2 whole seconds. Here we go. We're jumping to the NFL. Biggs, you haven't died to talk some NFL with you, dude. Like these. Okay, first of all, I just
watched the game tonight, bro. Did you watch the Eagles versus Patriots?
It was.
Did you watch the pass attack by the Patriots?
If I had to give it a name, I would just say like the poop fest or like something related to poop, like something that just lets you down. That's just terrible. Like it looked it looked worse than college football. Like I know it's not because these are the guys who came out of college football and everybody's drafted is like better than the average college football player. But I can't remember the last time watching a more boring college football game. Like I don't think I have unless it's like a blowout, like 62. Yeah. And when Alabama plays like Kentucky Southern Tech or something, like that's more boring. But other than that, this was awful. It is terrible.
It truly was awful. And this is why like we try to steer you away from like ESPNs and stuff, because this is the main headline on ESPN.com. NFL preseason week 2 takeaways. QB Drake May's performance sparks hope.
Sparks hope in what? This is equivalent to like turning on your. We just told the story. We just told like the story around that. Like my buddy literally just spread ash all over his living room. Like that's what Drake May is walking into. There's ash everywhere.
47 passing yards. He had 47 passing yards tonight against second and third team on the Eagles defense. And he had 1 rushing touchdown for 6 yards. And you're telling me that this is the hope that everyone in New England is hoping for. Like this is the next Tom Brady? No.
He's the next Tom Brady, dude. They're gonna do it. They found him.
They had 4 quarterbacks play tonight and they had a combined 90 passing yards. I don't get it, dude. And they lost the game. Like,
and they're trying, right? Like that's the thing. Is like somebody's sitting here listening to us saying like, dude, it's the preseason, but like, it's the preseason.
They're still playing for their jobs. Most of these guys are playing for their. Right. Most of the guys who are playing are fighting for a job, a roster spot. I don't know. It's just.
In his defense, he was. This is fantastic. He was the passing leader at 47 yards for the Patriots. So that's how that went. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, the rushing leader for the Patriots, with a whopping 18 yards. Ooh, daddy. That's what I like to see. And then Hasty capping it all off. Lead receiver for the Patriots. 23 yards, baby. Let's go.
That is so good. They're so good. So exciting, man. I can't wait for the fireworks week 1 Patriots, whoever they play. It's going to be epic. Epically
thank God they didn't trade away the 3rd pick for more picks. That would have been just dumb.
I know.
That would have been dumb to just go full.
Good thing they didn't listen to us. Good thing.
We told you to go. The best part is we told them to go full rebuild, and what? They just traded away another defensive piece. Like they just traded away another defensive piece this week. Like just accept that you're in a rebuild. It's so funny. So we're sitting there. I took Jaden. We wanted to go out to dinner, before he goes back to school. He helped me wash my truck today. So I was like, hey dude, like let's go out to dinner, and then so Danielle met up with us. So we had some sushi. Jaden loves some California rolls. So we sit down, we're hanging out, talking, and of course the Patriots Eagles game is on. He's like, Dad, how did the Patriots go from being so good to this bad so quickly? I'm like, son, that's what happens when you think you're better than the GOAT. When you have a guy like Tom Brady, you're like, no, we don't need you anymore. We moved past you. We actually have your replacement, and now you're just the laughing stock of the NFL. Like, oh boy.
The worst turntables have turned.
The worst part is that's arguably the division you'd want to be in, right? Like the Jets, there's so much uncertainty around Aaron Rodgers. Can he stay healthy? Can he actually be the Aaron Rodgers of Aaron Rodgers past? The Bills just lost their best weapon in Stephon Diggs. So now we're going to find out, is Josh Allen and James Cook, are they legitimate, right? And then Miami, who can't play a single game in the cold. So all you have to do is get them to November. And as long as you're within a game of them, you're going to be just fine, right?
Yeah.
Arguably, this is one of the divisions you'd like to have a piece. You don't want to be like the NFC West. You don't want to be playing the Niners and the
No,
Rams
no.
and the
Seahawks,
Seahawks.
Cardinals. I mean, they're all
The
good.
Cardinals, right? You don't want to play those. You don't want to be playing the Chiefs like week in and week out. Like that doesn't make sense. Like this is one of those divisions. I guess the rest of the Chiefs division is pretty sorry, but this is one of those divisions that I like. You would think if they could just put something together, like they might have a shot. Like let's say the Jets are good. Like let's say the Jets are good. Like what's their ceiling? Like
10 wins.
right. That's what like they're not going to be like 13-5. Like we're talking about 10-7. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you're in that ballpark.
I agree, man. Like there's a lot of question marks. Like this is the year. Like I feel like the Patriots are better off. Like you said, trade away the third pick, get the sixth and then the 13th pick. And right. I still feel like with Jacoby Brissett as your starting quarterback this year, you're going to win some games in this division because, like you said, the Bills have a huge question mark over their heads. The Jets have a huge, even bigger one because like the health risk with Aaron Rodgers. And then the Dolphins believe that Tua Tagovailoa is their guy. Like, you know, like this is one of the divisions you want to be a part of.
Drop back, go get a Penix and a receiver. Go get like, even if you want a quarterback, go get a Penix, who's more proven in college, by the way, than Drake May ever has been. Like, no part of this makes sense.
I still can't get over Penix's. Like, I guess like he was picked 11th, but like he wasn't even supposed to be picked until like round 2 or round 3. I don't get that.
Well, it's the same thing as Bo Nix. Like those two guys, for whatever reason, they got no love when they were the most accomplished passers, arguably last year in college football.
I mean, look at none other than Brock Purdy. I mean, Iowa State, 4-year starter, it led them to a Big 12 championship. Best quarterback in the school's history. Last pick.
Yeah, but Big Z, I don't know if you heard, if they lose Ayuk, Brock Purdy is going to
go down the drain.
He's going to be terrible.
He's so bad.
He's awful.
So terrible, bro.
He's awful, dude. He might be Dak. He may not win a playoff game. Like worst case scenario,
he may not even make the playoffs.
Well, what's better, to like barely miss the playoffs or like Dak it up and lose in the first round?
I'd rather just not make the playoffs.
Right?
Like that many times.
It's close. It's close.
I was watching the games or highlights of the games tonight, and on NFL Network, and there was a little tickler on the bottom, and you know we're gonna do the Dak hate all year just because he made us all look bad. So
yeah, we believed last year. We believed so hard.
So last year, in all 8 seasons that Dak has been the starter for the Cowboys, he's never led his team past the divisional round. And I'm like, dang. And then the next tickler is like, oh yeah, and he's going to probably be the highest paid quarterback in the league. Why? Why?
This is what the NFL is now. It's not even about Super Bowls anymore. It's about, can you just like stand there and throw the foot? Like it used to be about winning. Like at some point you wanted a winner, and now it's sort of just like, can you just give me good stats during the regular season to put butts in seats?
I mean, that's Jerry Jones. That's Jerry Jones's MO. I mean,
shots fired. Shots fired. I'll tell you what. I mean,
any Cowboy fan would agree with that.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Speaking of Jerry Jones style football, like I don't know about you, but I was looking at Sleeper this week.
Tell me.
And I'm looking at like the top 20. And dude, there is some riskiest picks. And I just I want to throw it out to the people, right? Like anyone listening to this podcast, like when you're drafting, you need to be assessing risk. Like Jamar Chase at the start of this year, for instance, was like the sleeper number 1 or 2 overall ADP. Like he was right there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Everyone's talking right now about Ayuk, right? Everyone's talking about CeeDee Lamb, right? But nobody's talking about Jamar Chase. And his owner has actually come out and said, I don't negotiate in the middle of a season. Like, I don't do it.
Right.
And nobody's talking about it. It's like, it's just automatically going to get done. Like, it's an automatic thing. And yet, his owner is the one owner that's like, no. Like, Jerry Jones came out and clarified his statements. Like, I'm not worried about it because I don't need him to play preseason. And, like, we're going to sign him.
Yeah.
Right.
And, like, and we miss you.
Yeah. And, like, the Niners are like, hey, we're actively pursuing this guy. We're either going to figure this out or we're going to get something back. Like, but we're going to figure something out. And they're like, we're hearing nothing out of the Bengals camp. And the owner, like, literally just said, like, hey, like, I'm not going to do a deal during camp.
And he didn't even show up to practice yesterday for the first time. Like, he's holding in. Like, now he's holding out, I'm pretty sure.
Which is like, I understand that the talent is there for Jamar Chase. But this is sort of the same
But
issue, and I'm going to
you
come
needed
off.
reps.
Right. I'm going to come off as the opposite of everybody else on the entire internet that I've heard so far, because all I've heard is like pay Ayuk, pay Ayuk, pay Ayuk, pay Jamar, pay Jamar, pay Jamar. I saw Ayuk not have a great playoff run. Like that. That's what I saw. Is he a great receiver? Yes. Is he elite? Yes. When the Niners needed an open receiver against the Chiefs, did he do it? No. Right? Like that.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, like in the words of Billy Bean, like nobody remembers you if you lose the last game of the season. And to me, like Jamar Chase, same thing. Like I look back at his last couple seasons, injury, not complete season, didn't work out. Oh, Joe Burrow goes down. Like it's unfortunate. It has very little to do with him. And I know he's super talented. Like, what exactly are you basing your request for money on? Like, we can sit there like in the media and be like, all the media pieces, like, oh, he's so worth it. He's so worth it. He's so worth it. But if you have not put together a healthy season with your quarterback, whether it's you or him, like it's not great, right?
Right.
And it's not to take a shot at Jamar. Like I know it sounds like I am, but at the same time, can we just play football? Like you have a deal in place. You're making 28 million, right? Like Ayuk is making 20 whatever million. Like Chase
only 14, bro. Only 14. Okay. Only 14 million.
Only 14 million.
Jeez,
only
come on.
14. Jeez. I mean,
get a hold of yourself, man. Like you're a little out of control, bro.
Only 14 million, man, to play a game. Hey, like that one at least makes more sense to me. I don't know, dude. I just
no, I agree.
I want to see
like,
these guys on the field.
I am 100% agree with you. And like people, like I've had these conversations with a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, you're just pro owner." I'm not pro owner, but like I also understand like if you sign a contract, like you're like what's the point of a contract if you're not going to show up for the last year? And these contracts, especially these rookie contracts, these were negotiated by your union, between your union and the NFL. They were collectively bargained. So like if you have a problem with it, go to your union head. Don't take it out on the owners and the team. Like I don't understand this.
But this is why when they signed off, much like the NBA on the last agreement, like when the NBA did the same thing, but it was the opposite way. We thought the owners were going to give pushback, but they didn't. And this was the opposite way. We thought the players would be like, why would you ever agree to this? And like, yeah, we agree because we just want to play football. Like, no, that's your moment to hold out. Like, if you need to miss a season, miss a season. That's your moment,
right?
To hold out and say, no, we need a better rookie agreement. You know, put some parameters in there, right? Like Ayuk, for instance, if you eclipse 1,000 yards in your first 2 seasons or whatever it is, whatever you want that number to be,
it bumps up.
It immediately bumps up. Like baseball has this all figured out with arbitration, right? Like the arbitration number varies based on performance. So like this rookie's arbitration may only be what, 600,000. This guy's arbitration may only be 1 million. But then somebody wins MVP, right? So Cody Bellinger's arbitration, that's why the Dodgers couldn't resign him, shot up to 17 million. Because he won the MVP race on his rookie contract. Now, is every rookie going to do that? No, I understand that, but that's what these deals need to be predicated upon. Go to your union and say, look, if I'm an elite receiver, and define what those characteristics are, because you're much smarter than we are. I'm not trying to say we're not. You're much smarter than we are. So define what those characteristics are. If I get targeted 100 times plus in a season, I'm clearly the wide receiver 1. Therefore, give me this much money. And if a team like literally stops at 99, hey, guess what? Probably just finish out the season and then ask for a trade, right? Like that. I get it. But at the end of the day, you have to put those numbers somewhere where it's feasible to continue to play football. But again, I agree with you 100% because that's on your union.
Yeah, it's on your union. Like that's the guy who represents you. Like I don't know. Like he's there in charge of getting you paid and making sure that your life is the best career you're having in the NFL. I don't know. Like to me, it's just ludicrous. And then I see the numbers. Like CeeDee Lamb's holding out. He's making 20 million this year. Ayuk's 14. Chase is 20. Whatever it is. I'm like, dude. Like if I am holding out for my job, I'm getting fired. I'm losing my mortgage. I'm losing everything. Like what? It's just insane to me. But it's crazy. Like you talk about Chase. Bring it back to fantasy football here.
Wait, pause. Chase is actually holding on the final year of his 4-year, $30 million contract because he wants an extension. So he's actually due $30 million. He did it, but he wants an extension.
I mean, I understand you wanting an extension and wanting long-term security, but like there's a time and a place to like do it in the off season. Like why
Or
are you
go
doing?
out and make 30 million. If my math is correct, that means you've made $120 million.
I'm guessing it's 4 years over $30 million over the 4 years.
Is that what it is?
It probably is.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, yes, you're correct. So the Star will hit a salary cap of 9 million with a guaranteed of 4 million. So he's holding out. That makes more sense to me. That makes a lot more sense to me. Having said that, again, rework these rookie negotiations. The next time this agreement is up, do not let the players side. Do not let the Players Association just fold up shop. If you want this to change, which to me, it honestly sounds like it should. It really does, because rookies in the NFL, I would argue rookies in the NFL impact their sport more than almost any other sport, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody's losing their mind over Jackson Holiday. Why? Because all of a sudden he's balling for the Orioles. We don't see rookies like the rookie, like when we say rookies, not rookies first year, but like that, like literally got drafted and then that first year they're impacting their teams. Like in the NFL, so many rookies actually go on to impact their team.
Yeah.
Like you have to rework that deal. You have to.
I think before I think this was put in place in 2014. There was like a cap that was put on place for the rookie contracts, but because before then there was no cap on rookie contracts. So like Sam Bradford, the St. Louis Rams back then, they drafted him and he signed a 6-year, $78 million contract, which in 2010 money, that's probably like 6 years, $130 million now, like
Right.
it's a lot different. And he was a bust. Like, so same thing with Jamarcus Russell. Like, and so I think the owners were like, okay, we're giving all this money into unproven players. Yeah, they have the biggest potential, but like, are they going to actually are they actually going to do it on the field? And so like, and a lot of them are getting burned on the back end of that. And so that's why they probably took it too far. Like, okay, here's the restrictions based off of round, but
put it on performance. Put it on performance. And if you get 100 targets
on that 5th year, yeah, it can. Yeah, you have the 4 years, and on the 5th year, you can, if they do the option, then you can kind of arbitrate like on what that salary is.
I say, why not first year? If you're a first year rookie and you immediately, it happens rarely.
But the problem is with between the MLB and the NFL, the MLB, it has no salary cap. The NFL has a salary cap.
That's fair.
Right. And so like, if you're going to have like these fluctuating contracts and salaries, like it would be really hard on like on a GM, like, okay, you did well, but I still have all these other guys, and now your salary is going to be boosted 7 million per year. Like now I have to cut someone else. So, but raise the salary cap or like have a buffer in there or something, like figure it out a little bit. Right. And so maybe like for that 5th year that you can create some type of arbitration, but I think that's one of the biggest reasons why they can't do that so early, at least in the contract, is because of the salary cap. And it's a hard cap too. It's not like the NBA where you can go over and pay tax. It's like you have to stick to that. That's the limit. You can't go over
it. It seems to me, it just seems like if this is going to continue to happen, it just seems like it's a broken system. I think that's where the frustration is. We're not mad at Jamar. We're not mad at the owner. It just seems like it's a broken system because you're a Niner fan, and what you want to see Ayuk on the field. Yeah. Some Bengals fan out there wants to watch Jamar Chase on the field. So clearly, to me, the point of this entire conversation, if I could just summarize, is the system is broken. Let's figure it out.
Get on the field.
So they can get on the
field. Figure it out, union and NFL. Figure it out. Like,
figure it out.
You're probably like the richest entity in America. Both the union and the NFL.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Like you can, like,
use your stars on the field. Use your stars on the field.
Problem is, guys like us are always watching and talking about them. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because we will watch somebody be a dumpster fire in week 5.
I mean, we watched. Remember the refs, the replacement refs season for like the game 1, and then it was just a tragedy. And I was like, okay, we see your point. Like you got to pay it. We got to pay you a little bit more.
We got to pay you a little bit more. We're getting death threats. Okay, give us some money, dude. What about you? I said Jamar Chase. You got any risk? You see anybody?
Marvin Harrison, man.
Yes,
he's a rookie, bro. Like
he's a rookie.
He's going, 15th overall, 14th. I see him up at like 11 in some rankings. Like, yeah, he's a talent, but he's unproven. He's done nothing. Like you're putting him over guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, Chris Olave, like Drake London, Isaiah Pacheco, Derrick Henry, even like already. Like I could see maybe top 30, but you're putting him almost top 10. Some of these guys,
Right.
that's insane. And then you're doing that for like you're just assuming that Kyler Murray is just going to be a stud. He could be, but he could also
Is
just
there a Call
revert
of
back.
Duty? Is there a Call of Duty coming out this year?
Yeah,
That's the question.
Yeah, yes, and it's coming out a month earlier than normal in October.
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
Fold
bro.
up shop. Fold up shop, Ryan. Listen, this guy's the 9th receiver off the board. Like, look, you'll hear it in a bunch of different podcasts. We're not getting the numbers of it, but you don't want to draft somebody at their ceiling. And Marvin Harrison is absolutely at his ceiling. Yes. Right? For this draft pick to make it worth it, he's got to finish top 5. Do you know what kind of pressure that is on a rookie?
Yeah, I know.
Like, man, just no. Dynasty, if you love him, go get him. He's your boy.
Yeah. We're talking about redrafts.
Redraft. Oh boy.
But like I see him ranked higher than like Puka Nacua in some rankings. I'm like, Puka Nacua, like he actually had a breakout rookie season. Like you're with a quarterback that's capable of throwing dimes. Like is Kyler Murray, like Kyler Murray's a rusher quarterback. Like he's not the best guy in the pocket, I don't know, bro. Like that's a risk to me.
Yeah, well, Puka Nacua is, even though his knee is confirmed not that bad, it's like people are just terrified. And they forget that Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp worked just fine. They had 2 elite receivers for years. Yeah. All that's out the window. It can only be Cooper Kupp. So I'll let it go. Best rookie season ever. Super high risk. I literally listened to a podcast today, Harris podcast, and it was like, just like, oh, dude, it was just like, I don't know, what's something just super gross? What's something just painful? Like, just fingers on a chalkboard or something. Like, oh, Puka Nacua is so risky. Like this guy just had the best rookie season ever. Not one of the best. Not
the best.
Right. Not like he had a really good season. Like he just had the best season ever. Like even if it comes down from that, right? Like he's still going to be very good.
Yeah, it's still going to be good. Like I don't understand.
And Cooper Kupp on the field, historically, like I don't know about you, Big Z, that helps you. Truly. Because defenses can't just sit there and watch you. This is why Jamar Chase loves T. Higgins. Right? Like this is why Hill loves Waddle. Right? Mm-hmm. Like if you have that number 2 piece, Cooper Kupp, right? And
Nacua. Why Ayuk loves Debo.
Pick your poison.
Like, yeah, man.
Pick your poison. Because you have to watch the other guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. It boggles my mind.
It really does. It really does. People are like, it's so weird, like how people like to give their flowers to certain people, but not to others. Like Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, most passing yards ever in San Francisco 49ers history. That's in 16 games. Like they've had Steve Young, Joe Montana. Oh, no. Doesn't matter.
Kyle Shanahan, Big Z. Kyle Shanahan.
Like, it's just the same thing though. Like, just.
Oh, dude. And all these haters are just hoping that Ayuk leaves so they can look like, see, Ayuk carried him. It was like, okay, any quarterback ever who lost their number 1 receiver is going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Brock Purdy will still be MVP. Like, don't worry.
Yeah, but just don't move the goalpost is my point. Because Patrick Mahomes was the 18th ranked quarterback in fantasy football last year.
Right.
He still won the Super Bowl. So don't move the goalpost. Exactly. Don't come for Brock Purdy until he gets eliminated from the playoffs in the first round. I lost so many guys that don't do it.
Dad.
Like, let this thing ride. Let this thing ride before you come at me with all your hate, dude. I agree with you 100%. The other one that kind of worries me, dude, and this is like close to home for you, but it just has me worried. I'm hoping you can enlighten me. CMC's calf strain. Is that like Joe Burrow's calf strain last year?
So CMC had the same calf strain he had last year, and he missed 1 game.
Okay.
Last year, which was week 17 against the Commanders.
Okay.
And so and it was like his most productive season he's ever had, the most games
That
he's
makes me
ever
feel
played.
better. That makes me feel better.
And today he came out and he was like, I'm fine. Like if I had to play a regular season game today, like I'd be in there. I'm like, I'm just not playing this preseason. And I was like, that's fine. Like you don't need to play the preseason,
No.
And so I am slightly worried, just because of like his past injury history. I do probably anticipate him missing like 3 to 4 games this year, but I don't think it's like anything serious. I just think that, he probably tweaked it a little bit. But the Niners are smart when they give up money, guaranteed money, and they just gave him an extension, a lot of guaranteed money this offseason. And they do their due diligence, like they do their physicals and all that stuff. And
Right.
he's okay. So number 1 overall, I mean, you got guys up there like CeeDee Lamb. And I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna be fine. Like when he comes on the field, like he's not gonna miss a step. Then Tyreek Hill, like you could probably, even Justin Jefferson, like you could probably put them right with, like you could probably be number 1, number 2, like flip flop McCaffrey and them. But at the price, it just depends on like where you're at in your draft and what type of draft. Like if it's like an auction draft, you have to give up $50 for McCaffrey. I don't know. Like maybe
That's tough. That's tough.
it just depends. So, but I think he's easily top 5 still.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. That makes me feel better. I was kind of
Yeah.
nervous for him. I was nervous for him.
Yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
You know what, dude? I guess I'll just move into like the unnecessary hate column. Like my boy, Big Z, Kyron Williams.
Dude, I had the same thought as you. Like I don't understand the hate that this guy is having. Like every single game last year, like if you want to look into the stats and the projections, he scored over his projections every single game last season. Yeah, he got hurt, but when he was on the field, he was a championship winning, like he won so many people fantasy championships last year, including myself. Like he's such an elusive running back. Like he can do it all. He can rush. He has great vision and he's very small. So like he can avoid tackles. He can also do it out of the backfield, catching passes, screen passes. He can route run. Like he could do it. He can really do it all. And people are like, oh, well, Blake Corum, like he was good. And he's going to take a lot of the stuff from him. Maybe the goal line stuff, but like there's so many, like DeAndre Swift last year, he was still a pretty good running back. Jalen Hurts is taking all his goal line stuff. Like it doesn't matter. Like the production that Kyron Williams is giving you, like you're going to be fine, especially if you're in a half PPR or PPR league. Like you're going to be fine with Kyron Williams. Like don't let the haters tell you. It's the same thing with Puka Nacua. It's the same exact thing. Yeah.
Don't let the haters tell you, man. We saw the same thing last year with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. Like Charbonnet's good. He's a good running back. He's great. When Kenneth Walker does get injured, they're fine with Charbonnet. Charbonnet's great. But Kenneth Walker is this explosive running back who does what you need him to do. Yep. And that makes him invaluable. That's the piece that guys forget, especially analysts when they're breaking this down. They say, well, this guy's faster. This guy's quicker. This guy's got more explosive energy. This guy's bigger. Whatever it is. There's something to be said for guys who can run the offense, who can be reliable. Like that matters more to a good coach than maybe this guy. Look, the difference between a 4.2 and a 4.3, it's not that much, man.
Yeah, when there's 5 defensive linemen in front of you, like doesn't really matter,
it's
bro.
Not yet. Can you be smart? That's when the football IQ comes in, and that's what people don't take into account. Does this guy know the playbook? Does this guy know what to do in this scenario, and that scenario, and this scenario, and that scenario? And those things are just thrown out the window. They're thrown out the window, and we don't learn our lesson, right? We never learn our, like, same thing happened last year. I said it, Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet. So many people were drafting Charbonnet like, oh, he's going to take all the goal line work. It never happened. It never happened. And again, those who did draft when Kenneth Walker went down, they were super happy. Good for you. You held on to Charbonnet. And again, this year, Charbonnet has that same value, right? He's going to be a part of the attack. He's going to touch the ball. We know that. Whether Walker's healthy or not, he's going to get his opportunity. But that does not take anything away from Ken Walker. Same thing here. Even if Kyron has to share snaps with Corum, great. As a Kyron owner, I'm excited about this because A, he'll get his, and B, I don't want him to carry the rock 40 times a game.
He'll get healthy. He'll stay healthy.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Exactly.
20 times a game. That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah.
20, 25 times max. Touch the ball and then no more.
Yes, sir.
Give it to somebody else because you're going to get hurt.
I agree, man. I agree. I think it's good. I think that like if you're on the fence with Kyron, like look at his coach, like look at McVay. Like a lot of
Facts.
people like they think, oh Shanahan, oh Andy Reid, like, great coaches, but like McVay was he was the one of the first guys to like kind of revitalize, revolutionize NFL offenses. Like when he came in the
Facts.
league, the way that he turned Jared Goff around and Todd Gurley around, like people forget it and they say, oh, it's just Shanahan out of it. No, Sean McVay is an offensive genius. Like his system is freaking good, right?
Yes.
And so, like the way that he's going to utilize Kyron Williams, like now he knows that Kyron is capable of, surviving in his offense and like actually delivering in the offense. He's going to make sure that he's being used in certain situations where hopefully he's not going to really be hurt, right? There's so many other weapons. You have Puka, you have Stafford, you have Cooper Cup. You have the guys that are going to really help lighten the load on Kyron or off of Kyron. So like if you're on the fence with him and you are, round 2 and pick 3 or pick 4, Kyron's still there. Like that is great value. Like he should have probably been round 1, number 10. Like he should be right there. Like people are going to not draft him because of all the analysts telling them
100%.
get off of him. So you take him, especially in round 2. You take him. It's a steal. He's a league winner. He still will be 100%.
League winner.
League winner.
Heard it here first. Heard it here
From
first.
Big Z and Fredo.
You know anybody getting hate, or is Nakua?
Well,
and
mine was Nakua and Kyron, so we kind of
we agree. We should agree
on both of them.
We
yeah,
nailed it.
It's silly to me.
It's
It's silly. Yeah.
Show some love. Now that we've covered hate, can I show some love?
Show some love, bro.
My boy, Bo Nix. I called this so long ago. Crown this man already. I'm on the hype train. I don't care. I don't care how logical it is.
You can call him,
I don't care how realistic it is. Give my boy his flowers. This guy, listen, he's done it at the highest level. He did it at Auburn. He did it at Oregon.
You're right.
He balled. And he never looked like he was uncomfortable. Never. Not one time did he look uncomfortable. Throwing across his body. Everybody wants to talk about Caleb Williams. Oh, the throw off, rolling off to his main hand side. And he threw a decent pass. And no one's talking about Bo Nix rolling the opposite way, reaching back, throwing across his body to a receiver falling out of bounds where only he can get it, dude. I am so excited for Bo Nix. I've packaged Will Levis in so many trades just to see if I can unload this guy. If anybody wants an uncertainty who's young, just to find out, because I believe in Bo Nix. I'm in. I'm all in on my boy Bo Nix.
You know what? You deserve your flowers, especially if he like hits.
If he actually hits, my gut, my gizzard is just like never to be doubted again.
But what we talked about last week, I really think that Sean Payton is like the guy in his way. Like unless Sean Payton proves me wrong, like I feel like Sean Payton's gonna have Zach Wilson start. Like I truly do, at least game 1 or 2. Like Nix needs the reps. The more he's out there, the better he is. I think he's gonna be productive. I think he's gonna be a good quarterback. I honestly do. I don't know. Like you're like, oh, he's superstar. Like you already, you've given him.
I'm ready. Dude, I'm ready to bow down.
But I think he's gonna be good. You talk about Caleb Williams real quick. If anyone's watched HBO Max, Hard Knocks,
God,
bro, this guy is like the first scene they introduce him. Like when Michael Jordan was introduced for the Bulls and like they had the that song, and like the announcer, and now the number 23, like that's the song they have playing for Caleb Williams because he's in Chicago. And I'm like, no, wait, what is going on? First up, what are we doing here? You are putting him on the same mantle as Michael Jordan already. He's done nothing. He's done nothing in his career. What are you doing? Like, first off, why are you putting this much pressure on him? Like, he's not, they're probably not going to make the playoffs this year. I don't believe they are. It's a tough division.
No.
And the way that they're glorifying him, like, oh my God, you can tell he is a cocky dude. There's no doubt about that. He is so cocky, and I think he's going to let it to get to his head at least this season.
I'm not going to hate on him right now. All I'm going to say is Bears fans remember this because he has more weapons than Justin Fields ever had. He either needs to make the playoffs or I never want to hear about how great he is again.
Yeah, bro.
Period.
If you watch it, if you get a login, bro, like it's just pure glorification. I've never seen any anything glorify a player this much. And I'm like, he's a rookie. He's not done anything. Prove me wrong. Fine. And I'll eat crow, but like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
It's wild, dude. It's wild. And at some point, it comes home. RG3 to be fired from ESPN. I can't remember a single thing he's done for ESPN. You didn't even know he worked for ESPN. Could that be the Caleb Williams story? Just like once amazing, then forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, just like Jamarcus Russell, bro, for the Raiders, you know?
Yeah.
Just savior. Oh, no.
I think RG3 would be great at podcasts, you know? Like if he's listening to this, go to podcasts. Like his knowledge of the game, like he could probably do a really great podcast.
Yeah, he probably could. He probably does have one. I bet you it's gonna blast off now.
See?
You know,
Boom.
yeah.
Put your time in there.
He has to be smart. Like a lot of people don't like him. I don't know his personal views. Like I've never really, but I know he's an NFL starting quarterback.
He likes baguettes. I know that. He's a big fan.
Big fan.
Big fan. Big fan.
And so, I mean, like I said, I didn't even know he worked for them. Apparently, it was a cost-cutting move. So, you know.
By the way, before we move off the NFL, because I had to bring this up, I read this right now. Literally, I read this right now. Popped up on my screen. 2 days ago, Maurice Jones-Drew ranked all the NFL quarterbacks, running backs. Sorry.
Yes.
Maurice Jones-Drew ranked all the running backs.
Okay.
CMC was number 1, which is fine. And then, like, this just shows the difference between fantasy football and actual football. There are differences, right? Like, Derrick Henry's ranked number 2.
Wow.
There's not a single fantasy football standing that would agree with that. Okay. Breece Hall at number 3. A lot of guys like him as the 3rd best running back, but typically the guy that's sitting at number 8, Bijan Robinson, is between the two, right? Kyron Williams number 4, and I see him get his flowers. Saquon Barkley number 5. Here's the thing. Here's the really interesting thing.
This is a crazy one.
This is interesting. Mostert is number 6. Mostert is number 6. And those listening are like, well, Mostert's a really good running back. Hey, I like it. I love it. Mostert is going to be good. Here's the crazy part. H-Chain is not on the list. He's not even on the list.
He's not the top 32 running backs.
Because he's not a starter. According to the Miami Dolphins depth chart, he's not a freaking starter.
2 days ago, too, man. Like
this is just one of those scenarios that fantasy football guys listen. There are so many podcasts out there telling you that Devon Achane is the truth, the way, and the life.
Bro.
Like, that is what they're telling you. And I'm telling you, on the Miami depth chart, he's not even the starting running. Like, I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but it is so important at some point. If you're playing fantasy football, step outside just for 1 second. Just for 1 second. Step outside of the fantasy football rankings. Step outside of all the fantasy football analysts and look at the actual team. Yes. Look at the actual team's depth chart just to see what the actual team themselves is thinking. Not some guy named Greg who's like giving you all the stats and all like the info that's usually really great. And I'm not trying to poop on that because I listen to all of it. I'm here for all. I listen to like 8 different fantasy podcasts. I'm not poo-pooing on any of these guys. All I'm saying is at some point, step outside of that. And look with your eyes at who's freaking starting the game.
I mean, Mostert had 21 touchdowns last year. You can't tell me, like, even if he had half of that, which is 10 or 11, that's an RB1 on your fantasy team. That's a huge drop off. Like, don't, step outside of it. Don't stop going into like all the crazy analytical stuff. Look at the depth chart. Look with your eyes. Watch a game. Like, who's the one getting the ball? Who's the one the coach trusts? Like, who's the one staying on the field, not getting hurt? Is it Achane or is it Mostert? It's Mostert. It's Ben Mostert.
And some of the guys say the same thing. I heard on the footballers. They ranked Breece Hall over Bijan because Breece has less competition than Bijan. And I was like, really? For that reason, I would rank, even in Dynasty or Redraft, whichever way you want to go, I would rank Breece, or I would rank 100% Bijan over Breece because Algier is my security blanket. If Bijan comes off the field on second down, I was like, yo, like that tackle hurt a little bit. Give me a second. They're going to give him that second. When Saquon came off the field, I was like, dude, my shoulder hurts. They're like, dude, get back out there. There's no one else. Like, like when you have somebody behind them, like to me, that helps. Like at some point, you got to wake up and smell the flowers and actually look at what the NFL is doing. Nobody has a single running back. Nobody has Mostert as low as we do on fantasy football. It's just foolish at best. Foolish at best, Big Z.
Foolish, foolish, foolish. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
If you need
gosh.
in our league, if you need Mostert, I got him. If you want to win now, come at me. But I'm gonna
It's
win. So
me. It's me.
okay, come.
I got to put together a package. I got to look at that. I got to look at this week. Moving right along, Big Z. We got to talk baseball because we all talk baseball. We got to. I love baseball. I've watched
Love
so
it.
many random games. I'm watching the Little League World
Yes.
Series, by the way. Before we forget, shout outs, Little League World Series going on. Check it out.
Shout out.
Little League World Series, dude. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, baseball's heating up, dude, especially in the NL West. It really is looking like the NL West is going to have 3 teams in the playoffs. That's what it looks like.
Maybe 4, potentially 4. The Giants are only 3.5 out of the wild card.
That's nuts.
And if you look at it, the top 4 teams out of the NL, it's the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, and the Padres. It's insane. Like what? I don't understand like what got into the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Like they've both won 9 out of the last 10. Like they're on winning streaks. The Diamondbacks actually have more runs scored than the Dodgers this season. Like I don't know. Like when we were in June, the Diamondbacks were not even above 500, and now they're 16 games above 500.
The
like, I love
Dodgers
it.
differential is better for right now. Yes, we did it.
It is. I mean, the Dodgers got hot, and then they lost a series against a good team. So I guess that's concerning. Walker Buehler does not look good. Kershaw, though, like if like Kershaw looked really good against the Brewers. Like that's the one game they won in that series. And it was Kershaw. He only gave up 1 run. So if I'm getting Kershaw healthy now, mid-August, early September, and he's going to roll healthy into the playoffs and good, I'm taking that all day, bro. I'm taking it all day.
All day.
Yeah, it's a good race, man. The NL is stacked this year. And
the fact that the Braves are the last seed in the playoffs.
Yes. I know.
It's shocking. With the Mets 2 games behind, the Giants 3.5 games behind, the Reds and the Cardinals only 4 games behind. There's a world in which we don't have to play the Braves in the postseason, Big Z. That'd be kind of nice.
It would be. Or the Diamondbacks, the Cardinal. I don't know. You pick your team.
Oh, they all seem to
I don't want to play any of
them. I don't want to play any of them. Dodgers,
besides the Giants,
we
seem to beat the Giants in the playoffs.
AL's the same thing, though. AL's the same exact thing. Top 3 teams. Yeah. You know, you got Cleveland, Baltimore, and the Yankees all within a half game of each other. I mean, they're absolutely right
Royals. Well, Baltimore and the Yankees are tied for the division lead, so that's why they put them on the wild card.
Got it.
So it's really Orioles/Yankees, then Twins, and then Royals are the top 3 teams.
Royals.
But yeah, but then you have Boston 2.5 back, Seattle 3.5 back, even Tampa Bay, 6.5 back.
The Mariners went in. They went out and got a Rosarina. So they're trying right now.
And Justin Turner, our guy,
Yeah.
They did. They're just the Astros are doing it, man. They've won 8 in a row. So in the West, I think they've kind of locked that up, unfortunately.
Oh, their division sucks again, so that definitely helps. That's the worst part, is that they're just like, you look at that team, it just pisses you off. But they could just be in a real division. Just once.
Yeah, here, like I'm not gonna lie about this. Like, I do not like the Astros, and I know Fredo for a fact does not like the Astros.
Hate the Astros.
Like we despise them. They cheated the Dodgers out of World Series, and we will never forget it. Ever. Never. I don't care what you say.
You guys are crying. We are crying. So
yeah, we're crying, and we will continue to cry. You ruined so many legacies because of your cheating ways.
Weeping tears.
That's right. You don't deserve anything. But yeah, man, baseball, I mean, the biggest surprise to me is the fact that the Cleveland Guardians, one of the lowest payrolls in baseball, has the best record in all of baseball. I love it. That's why that is why we hype baseball up more than any other sport, is because like teams like the Guardians with low pay, it doesn't matter how much money you pay. It truly doesn't. Like the Royals can win the World Series. The Dodgers could win the World Series, or the Guardians could win the World Series. It doesn't really matter. It just matters what team you have, what camaraderie you have, the manager you have. Like that's the actual team aspect of the game matters in this.
The highest payroll in baseball is outside of the playoffs right now.
Yeah,
and the New York Mets. Maybe that's the best possible. Managing matters. Period. Yeah. Baseball. I saw it firsthand at 10U All-Star run, and it's at the lowest possible level. And managing mattered so much. I can only imagine. I can't even fathom Like the two guys I was working with, they made me feel legitimately like I could not even be a coach. So they were incredible, and I'm sure it only gets worse. I have to bring this up, Big Z, for one of my buddies, Big James out there. Hopefully he's listening. Listen, Aaron Judge is the AL MVP right now. I've seen a lot of things on social media, a lot of things from ESPN trying to push this kid Bobby Witt. Look, Bobby Witt is having a great year.
Oh, he's having a great year.
I'm not trying to take away anything from Bobby Witt Jr. He's great. He's having a great season. He's pushed the Royals into contention. That's great. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Shout outs to you and your family and your fan base. You guys are doing amazing. Keep going. I know a lot of people still hear that as hate, but it's just not hate. Regardless, the fact remains that Aaron Judge is the leader in home runs, RBIs, and OPS. I mean, I don't know that there's three bigger categories, man. The only big category he's not leading in is batting average.
And he's hitting 333. Like that's nowadays, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Second place.
It's not like he's hitting 240. Like look, he's hitting 333, bro. Like
Altuve already stole one from him. Unless something drastically changes when Altuve was wearing microchips and getting tased to let him know it was a ball or a strike, whatever it was. Listen, Judge deserves this as of right now. Unless something changes, I don't want to hear it, and I'm not here for it, man. Judge is the MVP. Give that man his flowers. It's good for the Yankees to be good. I'm not a Yankee fan. I don't like the Yankees. I'm a Dodgers fan. But give that man his flowers. Give him that MVP unless something changes.
Yeah, man. We respect greatness when we see it. You know, we call it out. We shout it out. And there it is. He is like the sole reason. Like, I mean, Juan Soto is doing it too. You know, Juan Soto is having a great year for the Yankees. Like you said, like we were talking about before, you were saying like he deserves to be, he is a spotlight guy. Like he does well there. Like he belongs in New York. But like Aaron Judge, man, like you talk about guys who get paid and then still produce. Like it's not that big of a number of guys. Like a lot of guys when they get paid, they kind of seat back and like, yeah, I'm good for the next 10 years. This guy's a baller, man. Like the fact that he's hitting for power and he's hitting for the second highest average in all of baseball is nuts. Yep. And I just he 100%, 110% deserves to be MVP. Like Bobby Witt, like you said, great season. But don't get carried away. You want to talk about like most improved or like some other award, like biggest turnaround? Yeah, runner up, fine, whatever. Like silver slugger for his position. Yeah, like of course, like but it's not his time yet. You know, it's not. If the numbers were there, yes. But Aaron Judge is also playing in a tough division with the Orioles. A super tough division.
And
he's right on pace with them.
Again, give this man, like I just sent a thing today. He's the fastest to, I think it was
300 homers.
300 homer. Like it's just ridiculous.
Ever. It's insane.
Just let him do his thing, man. Let him do his thing.
And this is in an era where they get drug tested all the time. Like there's not steroids here. Like this is just pure talent. And we're seeing it. And so it's like, a lot of people talk about, you know, players and they retire like Kobe, like you kind of take for granted greatness, like while you're watching it. This is one of those guys like you need to pay attention to while he's on the field because he is it's just a great player. Like Shohei Ohtani, like don't take for granted like these guys' talents because when they're gone, there's going to be a gaping hole in the game. Right. And it's like, and this is one of those guys that you need to pay attention to every single night in and night out.
100%. We love it. Big Z, this has been fun. Say bye to the people.
I hope you don't hate us for if you drafted one of those guys that we were like, yeah, we don't like him. Just, you know, come at us. It's okay on social media. It's all good. But we're just trying to give you a different perspective. That's all it is. Like don't be a flock in a herd of sheep and follow all the main people. You know, it's guys like us that win, you know? And so we love you guys. We're just trying to give you what we think is best. Hope you have a good week and a good weekend. Stay safe, stay cool, and we'll come at you next week.
In the words of Billy Bean, if we don't think differently in here, we will lose out there. That is our promise to you. We'll continue to think different.